Look at this box art. Does the game look awesome? Does the game look awesome? Look at these pictures. Does it look awesome? Of course it does. But you're in for a total letdown. Now what I said there is kinda not true at the same time too. This game, I really look forward to it. But it just didn't do it for me. Now I know that's also the opinion of a lot of other guys, but just hear me out and then you can rush at me after watching the video. Do not rush at me all the way through like Wah! No, just wait until this video is over, wait until you have listened to my opinions, and then go type your comments. So yes, let me get to the point. Metroid Other M. Well, I'm going to talk about 4 main factors about this game. 1. The graphics. 2. Music. 3. The story. 4. The gameplay. Now let's begin with graphics, because that's always the first thing I go after. No, it's not. That was a joke. Graphics are the most unimportant things about games. If you have not already come out to that point, just stop watching the video right now. If you think graphics are the best portion of the game, stop. Just no, you're not a game. If you think graphics are the best part of the game, you're not a gamer. Simple as that. Yes. So that's why I'm only giving the graphics 1 point, because it's only 1 point worth of the whole game. And the graphics were awesome in that game. I admit to that. But it doesn't mean the game is alright. Woo! It's 10 points worth! But no, that isn't right. So yes, 1 point for the graphics. Now let's go to the other thing. The music. Music is always one big part for me in the game. Music is kinda number 2 for me. Story is number 3, graphics is number 4, gameplay is obviously number 1. With the graphics. That was 1 point. Music. 3 points for music is my basic point of stop. That's enough points for music. Yeah. Points for the music? Also, the maximum points. A 3. Now you're kind of thinking already like, oh, he's going to give this game a 10. No, hear me out. The music is awesome. Just go to YouTube, listen to the final boss music, annoyed by all the other sound effects while you're playing the game itself. Well, I know you can push into the pause mode, but still. Just listen to it and be fucking amazed. Now, by the way, before I go further, this is gonna have spoilers. This is gonna have spoilers to the game. It's obvious, because this is a review of a game that I liked and hated at the same time. Now, the game is already ranked up to 4 points of the 10, and that's pretty much actually. It's not pretty much it for all the points. No, it is not. Let's go to the gameplay. Now, gameplay, maximum points for gameplay is by me, is always 4 points. See where I'm going? 4 points for number 1 and 1 point for number 4. See where I'm going? You still add up to 10 points. But yeah, gameplay. Now, they took a huge risk by making it Ninja Gaiden-like. But I really didn't care that much. It felt alright. It really didn't feel like a Metroid game. I mean, it could have done better as a other game, not as a Metroid game, but it was alright. Now another thing that I really hated about it. You had, like, that's the only Metroid game in which you had at the beginning all your powers. Well, I guess Metroid Fusion you also had all your powers, but you get affected by X, and then whoops, all your powers gone. But that wasn't the main factor in Metroid Other M. The main factor in Metroid Other M is that you had all your powers, but you weren't supposed to have them at the first place for some strange reason. Now, why they didn't just electrocute you, like in Metroid Prime 1, which was just ridiculous. But yes, they didn't do that. They wanted you to wait until Adam, which is the guy that was the leader of Samus at first, well, the leader of the Galactic Federation. Well, you get what I mean. If you've played all Metroid games, you get what I mean. But yes, Samus has to wait to use her powers. Why? We don't know. But she has to wait until Adam gives permission to use them. Which is bullshit, because I went into a room that was fucking hot as hell. I didn't get permission to use my pariah suit. I went into a room that I was supposed to go in, and Adam was all like, well, this room is not as hot as the other room, but still, you should put your pariah suit on. The fuck, game? What the fuck? Like, there was the door, at the beginning of the game, you have this door that he can't open, and he's like, well, Samus, use your missiles on it. Boom. There goes it down. Whoop-de-doo. So yeah, that was, what the fuck. So that was basically one of the major bad things for me in the game. Now, that was also one part in the game that is, why are you fighting the bosses? In all the other Metroid games, you were fighting the bosses because you got some upgrade after that. Did you get an upgrade after fighting a boss in Metroid Other M? No, you didn't. You already had them, but you have to be authorized by Adam to use them in the first place. So why are you fighting these bosses? No fucking reason. Now, I had a lot of nerdgasms in, well, fangasms more in this game, because, one, it has fucking original Ridley, not like a mutated Ridley or something like that, from Metroid Fusion or something. It had the original Ridley. It had Nightmare, which I loved in Metroid Fusion, and it was hard as fuck when I was doing my 2% run of it. But anyways, that's beside the point. Then it also had Queen Metroid from Metroid 2, which was new for me. I never really played it, but it was kind of cool. But then come to think of it, that was the final boss. It was kind of like Queen Metroid. It was explained in the story. But after all, it seemed to not be the final boss at all. The final boss seemed to be Phantoon. Yes, Phantoon from Super Metroid. Was it explained in the story? No. Was it the final boss of the game? Yes. That final boss for the end of the game while not even explained in the story? Yes. What the fuck? What the fuck, Retro Studios? Seriously, what's wrong with you if you think that putting a final boss at the end, which was like, whoop, there he is, just like in any other Final Fantasy game these days. Well, back in the day, I mean, like Final Fantasy VIII. Final Fantasy 9. Yes, Final Fantasy 9 the most. Final Fantasy 9 was the most, because you had that final boss, and then woo! Evil Demon King. Where the hell did you come from? We don't know. You were a little bit explained in the story. So that's another thing. It was a little bit explained in the story. Phantoon wasn't explained in the story at fucking all. So yeah. What the fuck? Now another complaint. Where the fuck was Kraid? If you bring back Ridley, if you bring back Queen Metroid, if you even bring back Phantoon, where the fuck is Kraid? Where the hell is Kraid? The boss fights were awesome. They were cool. They played awesome. The other complaint that I have with it is the 2D playing stuff is awesome. The third person part. Not the one person part, the first person. You had to point at the screen, then that was the only time you can fire missiles. And in every boss fight you had to use missiles. So in one boss fight, it's really annoying, especially the final boss fight, not Phantoon, but the supposed final boss fight, which was even, well, Queen Metroid was kind of the real boss, but then you had that MB, which was the initials for Mother Brain, of course. Yeah, you had her, which I will explain in the story. This is the gameplay, and that part was fucking hard. I had already like 90% of all the collectibles that were well, possible to get at that point. Because after you fought the supposed final boss, there's another part after that, which I like. But still, what the fuck? The boss fight was hard. It was hard as coconuts. I had to try that over for numerous 50 times. And you're possibly thinking, you had 90% of all the items you were supposed to get at this point, at that point, right? Yes. Then you basically just sucked, right? No. I never sucked in the whole game itself. I never sucked at it. Except for one point, which was just horrible. There is this ice section in the game where you do not have the ice missiles or something like that. Yes, there are ice missiles in the game, of course. You already know if you're watching this, because why are you watching a review of a game if you haven't even played it yet? Unless you're thinking of like, I want to play this game. Is that good enough? I better watch a review of it or something. Which, yes, that may be a possibility. So you're getting some spoilers here. Yeah. Seriously. That fight was fucking hard. The other boss fights though weren't really all that hard. There was one part of the game where I was stopped at right at that moment, yes. I died about 10 times there. Because the enemy there is just too fucking hard for you at that moment in the game. You do not have enough energy for that. You can only have like 4 energy tanks for that part. No. No. You need about 7 energy tanks to beat that fucker. Seriously. He was too hard for only 4 energy tanks and like 20 or so missiles. Which is another thing. The missile expansions you get in the game, only 1 missile. Not the original 5. Only 1 missile. It was kind of a letdown, but not too much to let it go. To let the gameplay points finally go to... I hate to say this, but 2 points. Normally I give gameplay a more higher rating, but at this rate, really, like, really, Retro Studios. Did you really have to do that? I mean, you were awesome at making Donkey Kong Country Returns. Yes. I was kind of confused that, is that going alright? Because, well, you brought Ninja stuff, Ninja Studios or something like that. You brought that to the production of Metroid Other M, which was no. It was a no. Big fat no. So I thought Donkey Kong Country Returns was going to be bad too, right? No. You did a great job in that Retro Studio, so why didn't you do a great job at this and just let, like, Ninja Team out of this? For me, you could have made it another Metroid Prime game, which I'm still waiting for it, because at the end of Metroid Prime 3, if you have 100% run for that, which I already have, of course, if you haven't seen it by now, I'm still active with the Metroid Prime 2 Let's Play, but still. You get to see, like, a giant spaceship follow Samus after the whole cutscene, after the whole ending. Where the fuck's the sequel for that? Where the fuck is it? Like, I know my Metroid timeline. I know it. I know it. Because after Metroid Prime 3, Metroid 2, Metroid Super Metroid, and then Metroid Other M, then Metroid Fusion. Well, for you it's actually like this, but for me it's this. Yes? Okay, so, yeah, Metroid timeline. It's not really all fucked up like the Zelda timeline. I can't figure that out. I just can't. I got some couple things lined up, but I just can't find it out. But that's beside Metroid point. So yes, I've been kind of blabbering about all the other stuff now. So let's finally get to the story. Now the story. I really didn't mind story in a Metroid game. I played Metroid Fusion with fun. The other Metroid games weren't really all that focused on story, but this game was really focused on story. And my god, was it focused on story. My god, was it focused on that baby Metroid. Because Samus kept on whining and whining about that stupid baby Metroid, and I didn't really matter that at all. Because you still get to see Samus' ass 1,000 times in the screen, which I liked. But still. Yeah. You do not have to whine that much about a stupid baby Metroid. I mean, okay, it gave his life to you to beat Mother Brain in Super Metroid, but still. You don't have to whine for it for the rest of the fucking game. You began at the beginning of the game. I mean, like, okay, that's good. You follow the track, which you thought was the track of the baby Metroid. Which, yes, it is certain. there were even other Metroids on that facility. They were building more Metroids on that facility. Now what the fuck is that? Didn't you learn that when you made Metroids on planet Zebes, or Zebes, or Zebes, Zebos, no, I just punch people in the face who says Zebos. It just sounds stupid. But yes, you made Metroids there. Why make them again if they were already a fail couple of numerous fucking times? Why do you make them again? Which is also another thing for Mother Brain. The Space Pirates made Mother Brain. You thought, hey, what a cool idea. Let's make Mother Brain as disguised as a girl, which we call MB. Yes, I know, kind of fucked up. Why they did that? I don't even care why they did that. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot about the gameplay. All the other stuff that you get, the power bombs, you're only authorized to use them after you finish the game, because Adam is already dead by that point, because Adam goes after the Metroids, which, boom, the facility explodes, and there goes all the Metroids, all the part of the facility just drifted away in space, and then boom. But yes, still, like, what the hell? That wasn't really supposed to happen, was it? Yes, it was! Good for you, Steve. Good for you, Steve. Yes, good for you. But not good for all the players out there. Seriously, I just, no. And then, there is this major part in the game that I really forgot about the gameplay. I'm kind of drifting off the story for the gameplay now, but there are these points that you have to look around. It took me 1 hour to find out where one of the things was. Like, one of your friends dies by some weird, strange thing. And then, whoosh, you have to find something. It took me 1 hour to fucking find it. So be happy that it's not a blind playthrough of me, of my Metroid Other M Let's Play. Because if it was blind, I would be doing 4 videos long about searching for that fucking thing. Even though I'll probably put it on pause the video. Still, my god, it was annoying. After that I found out that I could only use my Variety suit after I got authorized for it. I just put the game on pause, went into the fetus position on my chair, and just cried there. I cried of how bad the game was at that point. I gave it a chance. I even gave it a fucking second chance after that crying part. I just put on the game again after a week or so, and then played further, which then after that I found out that the game was actually pretty fun after that. So yes, and then we have the rest of the story. Ridley, I love Ridley in the game. He comes out of an egg, he's a little creature, then he comes after that little creature, he's a kind of a reptile thingy, which kills one of your friends. Then after that, it changes into Ridley, which brings me to a point where I am just like, what the fuck, Samus? You've encountered Ridley for numerous times in other Metroid games, on other planets. Why the hell are you so scared of Ridley now? She was literally frozen in place there. She was frozen in fear. Why weren't you frozen in fear the other games, Samus? Huh? Explain that to us. No, I'm not going to explain that. Well, fine with me then. That just brings the story points to even lower. Because the story points is basically going to a 0 right now. And then the final part of the story, which was the part where all your friends died because of one of your team members. There was one team member, it was a big brown guy, which helped you fight Ridley. Because of him, you weren't frozen in spot there in front of Ridley. So, yes. I believe that guy was like called Alfred or something. I don't know. I'm just gonna call him Alfred. I like that name. I'm just gonna call him Alfred. Yeah, Alfred just he fell down a pit, which was lava beneath it. Now at the end of the game, you get again rescued by one of the team members. Now you're already thinking at that point, at that moment in the game, you're like, there weren't any team members over except for one that went missing. So that's probably the killer, but the story doesn't explain it. What the fuck? Like, you get to see a cutscene where MB is watching one of your team members shoot another team member. You do not see which of the team members dies there. One of the team members is found later on, which every team member dies except for Alfred and then another guy, like Joe or something. I guess he's called Joe or something. I'm just gonna call him Joe. Yes, Joe. He went missing. He's probably the killer. Is it explained by the story? No. Which brings me to Alfred. Yes, he saves you after that. Which, how did he save you? There was a bottomless pit there with lava underneath it. How did he survive that? How? I don't know. And I don't care anymore at that point in the game. I was like, well, fuck the story now. If you're gonna put a story in a Metroid game, make the story good and understandable. Not fucking complex as like... Is this Professor Layton? No, it's Metroid. You do not have to make a story that complicated. So yes, who the hell's the killer? We shall never know. We shall never know. Supposedly it's gonna be that Joe guy. But still, it could be Ridley, it could be Queen Metroid, it could be anyone. And which brings me to another point. You fight Ridley in the game. You beat him. He doesn't die. He escapes, got killed later on by Queen Metroid. What's the point in that? You have to fight Ridley for no point basically, because he gets killed later on by the supposed final boss. What's up with that? I don't know. So yes, that all brings me to a point where I have to give the story a 0 out of 3. Well, out of 2 actually. Which brings me to the point, is Metroid Other M worth a buy? If you're a die-hard Metroid fan like I am, give it a chance. Buy it. Just buy it. If you're a die-hard Metroid fan, buy it. If you're not a die-hard Metroid fan and you think like, well, I'm gonna try out my like 3rd Metroid game or something, just do not buy it. It's not worth it. It's not worth the money. Except if you're a die-hard Metroid fan, then it's alright if you buy it. Like, I am a die-hard Metroid fan. I suppose that one of my fans is also a huge fan of Metroid, so he would probably have bought it too. He probably has already commented on this video, so thank you for that. But yes, basically, yes, that's all I have for this video. I give the game a 6 out of 10. See, I wasn't really all that whiny about it. The game had some good points. I wasn't all that whiny about it like other reviews I have seen. But yes, I wasn't really all that whiny about the game. I still gave it a 6 out of 10, and it's still it's a good number for a game. So yes, 6 out of 10 for Metroid Other M. Hey, that rhymes. No, it doesn't. Yeah, leave a comment, say what you think about my review, and see you next mission.